Hi everyone and welcome to Franka's Fab Family. I am Franka and I hope you have enjoyed season 2 of Franka's Fab Family, and we're actually going to take a break. We're going to take a break for a few reasons. I actually started a couple books and I've started a cookbook. So when that comes out, I hope that you go and pick up a copy of it, and I hope you enjoy all the recipes there. Many easy recipes and some difficult recipes, but they are definitely kid-friendly and family-friendly recipes. Most of the ingredients you will find at any supermarket, and I hope that you enjoy them, so look out for that. Additionally, when I started this parenting program, I thought that I was going to dive right into just some tips and strategies and stuff about raising children. But as we know, if you look at the 26 videos that I completed, it spent a lot of time addressing adult issues. Parental adult issues, interpersonal issues with parents in the house, and just adult trauma and healing issues. So I want to invite you for the next 6 weeks, month to 6 weeks, to take some time to look back over some of these videos and start to implement some of these strategies in your life to promote and create healing within yourself. Because again, we cannot bring out or help foster the best in our children if we are still suffering. We cannot bring out the best and have the best interaction with each other in adult relationships if we are still hurting so much. So please take a look, go back, look at those videos and really start to digest the information. I encourage you to go ahead and research even more. All of the topics, research more. I unfortunately find a lot of adults take the approach of, well, I'm an adult now, I can do what I want. The problem is when you moved into adult life with a lot of childhood trauma. I do have a degree in human development. My first degree, my bachelor's degree, is in human development. So I'm just not talking off the cuff. I actually know what I'm talking about. In addition, a lot of these things I had to implement to help heal myself, to help secure and strengthen the relationships with my children. And even just going through these weeks of researching and going back over a lot of this information, it has really created a more harmonious situation in my home. My children are benefiting from it. Luke even dances in the house now. I mean, we're doing well. And I really want to encourage you families out there and you parents out there, if you have been struggling with any of these things and you have a lot of internal trauma, especially emotional discomforts and things like that, please help yourself. If you can seek professional help, go ahead and do so. And if you can't, I always have this motto: if you can learn it, I can learn it. And you have to remember that a lot of professionals just studied. They actually studied a particular subject and resulted in them being able to help and guide us with these strategies. So if you can have and afford professional help, go and get it. There is nothing wrong with seeking help. I'm telling you, especially in the Black community, we don't have to suffer alone anymore. Additionally, if you cannot afford professional help, go and research it yourself and seek out your own help. Hunger and thirst for your own healing, because your life will definitely improve. If you remember, some time back I had promised that Luke was going to make an eggplant parmesan. Well, Luke and I, about 3.5 weeks ago, we started a real focused workout regimen, and he actually said no, he's not ready to come in front of the camera yet. So we did a before picture, and as we continue with consistent working out, we will show Luke a little later on, but I think he looks gorgeous if you ask me. So today I was going to make eggplant parmesan, but the twins, they don't like eggplant parmesan. They like lasagna. So Luke likes lasagna and he likes eggplant parmesan, and I like eggplant parmesan. So I decided to combine them both, at least combine many of the ingredients for both of them. So today I am going to cook you a farewell meal. I actually really love cooking. It's one of my passions, and it's also one of my love languages. I enjoy making a beautiful meal for my family. I enjoy making a beautiful meal for my loved ones and things like that. And I just love the whole restaurant feel, but completing it at home. Additionally, I want you all to understand that cooking hot, healthy meals for your children, not only does it really promote good health, but it also transfers into adult life. Now that Jordan is not in the house, except when he comes home on holidays and things like that, he's actually cooking. He's cooking while he's away, you know, and it's wonderful to see that all of the things that he learned in the house with me, he can take that information, knowledge, and skills with him. So we are going to cook it's a lasagna eggplant parmesan combination. We're going to use both of the ingredients so both sets of children can enjoy, because I like to have a balanced meal. So we'll have the protein, we'll have the starch, we'll have the vegetables, we'll have the dairy, and we'll have all of that in one wonderful, delicious meal. So let's get started. The ingredients that you will need are 1 pack of lasagna, 2 eggplants. I like them firm and hard, so I like them if you touch them they will be firm. 2 jars of your favorite tomato sauce. You will need 2 cups of breadcrumbs, 3 eggs, 2 cups of flour, 2 pounds of mozzarella cheese, and 1 pack of ground beef. The spices that you will need for the ground beef are 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, 2 tablespoons of ground pepper flakes, 2 tablespoons of adobo, or your salt level to taste. 1 tablespoon of black pepper, 2 tablespoons of parsley, and 3 tablespoons of my famous green gold. Please take a look at the green gold videos. I have a small and a large batch there. It's roughly 15 different ingredients, and it really brings any meal up a notch. It brings up the flavor component really wonderful, and this works well with ground beef or ground lamb or something like that. So yep, let's start cooking. In a large pot of boiling water, you are going to first start with your lasagna noodles. Salt the water to taste and just let those hang out there, right? The next thing we're going to do, we're going to add about 1 tablespoon of oil in a large skillet. We are going to saute the seasoning, and we are going to cook the ground beef. You're going to add the green seasoning. It already smells so good. You're gonna let that go a little bit. Then you're going to add the ground beef. Making sure to mix it that all of the ground beef is coated in that green seasoning. I typically don't put a lot of salt in my green seasoning just because, you know, I like to add it depending on the dish that I'm making. So while it would have a little bit of salt component or adobo component in it to help it preserve, you would need to add a little bit more. Then I will add the rest of the seasoning. We season our food quite heavy or a bit for our Caribbean dishes and things like that. So even though this is not a traditional Caribbean dish, like all of my meals have those Caribbean flavors. So you will let the ground beef cook. When your ground beef have totally dried out, we're going to use 1 jar of the tomato sauce, and it's depending on how large your jars are. This is 24 ounces. So the reason why I'm going to put 1 jar with the meat, eggplant really absorbs a lot of liquid, whatever you put on it. So we don't want the lasagna to be dry. We don't want the pan of food to be dry. So I will put 1 jar in the meat, And then I would still use another jar. I actually make my own tomato sauce, but that's a long couple hours of process. But they have really good tomato sauce in jars now, so it'll save a lot of time, especially if you're a single mom or a single dad and you're busy. So we will stir all of that in. And we will let this go for about maybe another 10 minutes. I like to taste my food. I don't know how people don't taste their food. Let's see. Yummy. So we'll let this come back up to a boil, and then I will take it off, and then we'll go to the next step. When your ground beef is all done, we're gonna take it out and set that aside because we have to create an assembly line with all of the different ingredients. So we're gonna set this to a side, and now I'm going to do the eggplants. Now that we've finished the ground beef and the pasta is almost done, we are going to fry the eggplants. Depending on the shape and the size of the eggplant, you can cut it in rings or you can cut it in slices, right? Because you're just gonna layer it in the lasagna anyway. This time I am going to cut it. What do you want? How do you want it cut, Luke?
I would like it sliced.
In rings or slices?
Slices, please.
Slices, okay. We are gonna cut it down. I'm not gonna make it too thin, but you're not gonna make it too thick either. I like to use a bread knife. That's the serrated knife because it just cuts it easier. So we're finished with that one, and we'll do the second one. Sometimes they even have the very long eggplants, or they have the short mini eggplants. I mean, eggplants to me is so underrated. It's such a yummy vegetable that you could do really yummy things with it. And children actually do eat it. I bet you Gabriel and Naya will eat it today. Okay, so now that we finished cutting up the eggplant, we are now going to put it in the mixture. We're going to start with the flour. I don't season the flour or the eggs because the meat, the cheese, all of that already have a lot of seasoning. The seasoned breadcrumbs have a lot of seasoning in it. You're going to drip it in the egg, drain it off, and then we're going to put it in the breadcrumbs. Making sure to cover it all. And then I will put it down there, and we will do all of these, and then we're going to fry them. Oop. Now that we've finished dressing and preparing all the eggplants, we are going to move over to a deep skillet and fry them. Yummy. The kids really love doing this part because it's messy. Now we're going to go and fry them. Now you just fry your eggplants until they're golden brown. Yummy. It's nice and golden brown. You flip them. And you do all of them. And they're nice and golden brown on both sides. You take them out and you let them drain on some paper towel, and then you complete all of them. Yay! Another section done. Now that we have finished all the different components of the eggplant lasagna, we are going to start to assemble it. The house smells amazing. So first, you put a layer, oh, wait, let me get a spoon. You're gonna put some tomato sauce down at the bottom of the pan first. That's to just prevent that bottom layer from sticking. So you're gonna put a quick layer. Remember I told you you're gonna need 2 jars. You'll need more tomato sauce than you would normally need, right? And then you're going to layer your lasagna noodles at the bottom, covering the whole bottom. This is gonna be yummy. I guarantee the twins are gonna eat it. We're gonna layer the noodles. After we layer the noodles, we're going to put some meat sauce. That's so your children get a nice healthy portion of protein. This is actually grass-fed ground beef. As much as you can, try to give your children the best possible ingredients, because the way things are going nowadays, like, you know, health is really, really important. There are too many sicknesses. Then we're gonna layer the eggplants. We're gonna layer the eggplants. You can layer them down. We are going to layer the eggplants. Sometimes you may even have to cut them depending on the size that you have. Here is some of that yummy crust. We want to keep that there. It adds so much flavor, right? And then now you're going to add some tomato sauce. This is so yummy. I can't wait to have it. The kids are gonna enjoy this. Right? And you add some cheese. If you like ricotta cheese, you can also add ricotta cheese also, but this time we didn't do that. So you're gonna add a nice heavy layer of cheese, and you're gonna start the process all over again. Another layer of noodles. So everyone is happy with this meal, and I'm happy because they have all of the nutritional components that I like to make sure that my children have. Don't worry if it breaks. My aunt used to say, you can't eat it whole. Because you know how sometimes kids are like, no, the bread broke. You can't eat it whole, so that's okay, don't worry. And then all of the cheese and the sauce and all of that will cover everything, so don't worry. And you know, many times we have a lot of lasagna that are too long. As you go up the platter, you just break that off, or you fold it over. I'll grab a knife for the other layers. Yeah, and then we do the process all over again. Then we add ground beef. This is a pretty big dish, but we'll just have 2 hearty. Then we spread it. Spread, spread, spread. This is that top layer. So Gabriel, who's definitely a carnivore, his palate is satisfied. Then we are going to add the last layer of the eggplant. Right, then we're going to add tomato sauce. Actually, maybe I needed even another jar of tomato sauce. And do you know that this meal is actually better the next day? It's so yummy the next day. It's even better. Well, the eggplant parmesan and lasagna in general are better the next day. Then we add some cheese. And this will feed my house just for 2 days. So we'll have some leftovers the next day. And just not to waste food, we will take the last set of pasta and we will do one more row. If you're a vegetarian, you just leave out the meat. Leave out the meat. It's a yummy meal. I have a wonderful family, friends. They're all vegetarians, so she can just leave out the meat. Let me grab a knife or some kitchen scissors to cut off a little bit of that extra pasta. Then we're gonna do that. Let me wash my hands. Then we would have needed a little bit more tomato sauce, but that's okay. We're gonna cover the top. Let's see. That's like the covering, the blanket on top. I like everything to look pretty, so I will tuck these corners in, because if not, they will get really crusty and hard when you go and bake it. So in a 375-degree oven, if you had a little bit of more tomato sauce, that would have been great. Let me check the refrigerator and see if I have any. Nope, we're all done, but this will do. It's the sheet is quite yummy. It's quite filled, and then you would cover the top with the cheese that you have left. We're going to preheat the oven at 375 degrees for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or until golden brown. Some ovens are more hotter than the other. I like to make everything look really, really pretty. So I am going to add some wonderful color by adding that parsley, some parsley flakes. You see that? So it just adds another dimension to the food. And once you do anything with love and consistency, you will get better. So don't shy away from the kitchen if you don't know how to cook. You will get better. So then I'm gonna cover this, and then I'm gonna put it in the oven for about 20 to 30 minutes at 375 degrees or until golden brown. You know, I wanna give you guys a tip. A lot of people I see use foil. Do you guys know that foil breaks down in food and it can cause Alzheimer's on the brain later on in your senior life? So try to stay away from putting direct aluminum foil. It's a very, very cheap metal on your food directly. So you get parchment paper or cookie sheet paper, and you cover your food with that first. This can bake and it doesn't burn. And then you put the foil on it. You're gonna wrap it up tight. So you're gonna let everything just marinate together. And then in the last 10, 15 minutes, you'll take, once it starts bubbling and everything, you'll take the foil and the covering off. But people, for real, stop cooking with your food directly on foil. Like, it's so not good for you. I rather wash dishes 10 times over because our health is important. There are so many health issues that are already happening in our environment in general. So I really try to minimize our exposure to unhealthy things. So now we're gonna put this in the oven. It's almost done. You could smell it throughout the house. I will then take the cover off. Ooh, that is yummy. It's bubbling. We're gonna get a nice golden crust on top, and you're gonna be done for dinner. The lasagna, the eggplant lasagna is done. I mean, it smells amazing. It is piping hot. Like, you have to let this cool a little while. It'll burn the top of your mouth off. So I am about to go and pick up the children, but I'm just gonna have a little tiny taste. Tiny taste. And it actually took 40 minutes instead of 20 minutes. So I know I said 20 minutes earlier, but 40 minutes. It's so good. Yummy cheese. This is good. This is really good. The children are going to enjoy dinner tonight. Remember, everyone, we are going to take a break. I want you guys to take some time to focus on yourself, focus on your healing, identify some of the areas in your life that you need to work on. And we are going to come back, and I am going to focus more on targeting children, some things that we need to teach our children as it relates to health, finance, education, because we as the adults, we're responsible for ensuring that we help guide and produce healthy adults later in life. I am Franka Potter. I hope you really enjoyed season 2 with me, and I hope that you miss me and you look forward to seeing me again when I return with some new information for you. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful life. Again, be good to each other, be good to your children, and most of all, be good to yourself, because then you could be good to everyone else. Take care. I love you all. Thank you for your comments and your blessings. Like, subscribe, watch the videos again, and just be wonderful, be amazing, be your best self. Take care. Bye-bye.